Well, good evening and welcome to another action-packed, rip-roaring live stream. Tonight, as a special guest, we have Elaine Gilmore is going to pop on, and we're going to talk about some of her stuff, as well as we are talking about the Kool hits, collaborations, and curiosities, not necessarily in that order, album, and in specifically, Always a Sunny Day. So I think let's spin the record. Here we are.
Look at us both, we were just like brothers in that old photograph. I became a persistent scholar and you took up fighting the flag. From anti-establishment ethos to a nowhere man without a home, while I flew up to heaven and made my living as the emperor of Rome. And it's always a sunny day when you're living life above the clouds. How come it's raining on me? Choose how to spend your day. Turn a smile to
There's nowhere to sleep and there's nothing to lose.
always a sunny day when you're living high above the clouds.
It won't stop raining on
Take that
me.
rain and turn it into a
Nowhere to go, nothing to show, no colors to build a rainbow. Along the way, our window shadows, the streets are restless tonight. Down here, I'm just chasing the shadows, trying not to lose the fight.
The playground of the angels is a wonderland we all should see.
Say it's not true that we're all locked into our destiny. Stuck with what will be, will be.
And it's always a sunny day when you're living life above the clouds.
How come it's raining on me?
Choose how to spend your
Do you know what? The mic was off the whole time we were there. So we had the round of applause. So we're just going to recap. So sorry. Yeah, no sound. Does everyone say no sound? So sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Elaine Gilmore, I let her share my applause, etc., etc., etc. Always a Sunny Day, that's the song. This was the picture disc. Yeah, it was
And I said he was clever.
Yeah.
Obviously,
She didn't say I was expensive, she just said I was clever.
we've had a heavy day today.
Yeah, very sorry. Because we were just saying, we've just been writing a song.
Been working you hard.
Yeah.
You've done a fantastic job.
We've just been co-writing the song, and it's really good as well. It's going to be good.
It's
you
coming
can't
on
hear
lovely.
it yet. Can't hear it yet. So, because Elaine's on the show, we thought we would have a competition based on her last album, as opposed to her next album.
Yeah. Exciting times.
So I'm going to stick this up on the screen, and I'm going to put it to you, and I'm going to leave my sound on this time.
I'm not going to be entering this week because...
No, because she knows the
I
answer.
I know the answer every week. I just keep just let everybody
It's very
else.
kind. Let other people have a go.
I'm a very kind person deep down.
Right. Okay. I'm going to stick this up on screen. So the competition question is: Burt Bacharach has a lot of co-writers. He has a lot of co-writers because I don't think he actually writes lyrics, does he? Don't think he does. Anyway, he primarily works with other people. Burt Bacharach has a lot of co-writers. What is, in our opinion, the most unusual one that is featured on Elaine's album? So Burt Bacharach has a lot of co-writers. What is, in our opinion, the most unusual one that is featured on Elaine's album? So there we are. So you might have to scour about and see what the tracks are. You might have to Google about and see what the see what the writers are. I reckon they're probably all up there on Google, and then you have to figure out which is the most unusual, or getting a bit psychological, which we think is the most unusual. So wheels within wheels going here. There we are. That's a competition question. We will reiterate it a wee bit later on. But yeah, what have I got here? We should just say, just in case there's anyone that hasn't been on, please subscribe.
That was easy.
Do you want to press?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was easy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
see, you press
Can
that
I keep
almost as
that?
well as I did. No, you can't. These cost a fortune, apparently. They're about 25 quid. Yeah. There we are. Subscribe. Yeah, subscribe, particularly on YouTube, but also anywhere else you happen to be. If you're a Twitter user, please subscribe on Twitter. In fact, we're short of Twitter followers. We're not so bad on Facebook, not so bad on Instagram. Rubbish on TikTok because we haven't really sussed out how it works.
But
You've been
Rome
messing.
wasn't built in a day.
No, but you've been messing about with it, haven't you?
I've been messing about with it. My granddaughter told me how to, showed me how to sort of use it a bit. And yes, I have been messing about a bit. So watch this space. We will get there. It's just,
yeah.
you know, you can't do everything all at once, can
No.
you?
No.
You can't do everything properly.
No. All roads may lead to Rome, but Rome wasn't built in a day.
Ta-da!
Everyone a song title.
Absolutely.
So we're going to chat a little bit about Always a Sunny Day and about how it was written. You'll hear some of it of Joe's part because we did an interview with him earlier in the year, and I'm just going to replay a little bit of that interview, which gives you the idea of how his involvement with James started, etc. But suffice it to say that they talked, and he said, how about doing a co-write? And he sent across, I think he sent across a couple of snippets of work, but this particular one was going round and round in my head because it was a kind of funny, anyone knows about music, it was fourths. It was fourths going, and that's quite unusual for that to happen. And so I was quite struck by it. And I was just about on my way to Greece on holidays. And in fact, I was on my way to Greece. We were on the aeroplane, and I looked across at Lorna, my daughter, and she said, it's turned out sunny again because we just come above the clouds.
Wow.
And I said, it's always a sunny day when you're above the clouds.
And
it went,
there we go.
Bing! I thought, oh, that's a good song title, isn't it? And then, by chance, we were going to Thessalonica, which is in Greece. mainland Greece for the first week of our holiday anyway. And by chance, we had this apartment with a piano in it. It's like a proper upright piano. It's a marvellous, fantastic apartment with a piano in it. And so I was messing about with a couple of things. There was another song I was writing out there, but I started messing about with Always a Sunny Day and seeing if I could get some lyrics for it, etc.
Fantastic.
So we did that in Thessalonica, and then the second week we moved across to Corfu. Now, I wish I'd recorded the first week because I had a piano the first week. The second week, when I'd finished the ideas that I had for the chorus, we didn't have a piano.
You didn't take the piano along on your back?
No, it was quite heavy. It was a proper iron frame piano.
What a shame.
So I
should insist now, everywhere you go on holiday, that there's a piano there.
There's a piano. Yeah, I should put it on my rider.
Absolutely.
My holiday rider.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kept working on the song, and I thought, oh yeah, I think I've kind of got it. But I only had a Mac to record on. I didn't have any keyboard to input or anything like that. So I had to physically place all the piano notes and everything in one by one. And I didn't have a microphone either, so I had to use the Mac microphone. I stuck some earphones in, and I multi-tracked. I did all the harmonies. I put a drum pattern down, and it sounds a little bit like this. So it doesn't sound terrible, I gotta say.
And you're
it
on
doesn't
holiday.
sound terrible, yeah. Everyone else was asleep. Joe's parts in there as well. Etc. There we go. There we go. That was Always a Sunny Day from Corfu in Greece on a laptop with no equipment. So
Excellent.
Just goes to show that you should never be put off by your lack of equipment. Don't ever use it as an excuse. Say, I didn't have the equipment, that's why I couldn't write that great song. There we are. And of course, when we got back home from Corfu, I played it to James and he went, oh yeah, I really like that. And we set about writing a verse, which James, of course, in his usual style, did in about 10 minutes. Just went, whoosh, there we go. And we went, okay, there we go. And then I think the same day, probably 10 minutes later, we wrote the middle eight, of which we both bashed about on things for that. We were both looking at different chord sequence and stuff. We ended up with a chord sequence that was quite Beach Boys and had different bass notes than the regular chord notes to it. And we kind of we like that sort of thing. So yeah, so we went for it, and that was it. It was kind of done really in the sessions that I did in Greece, and one session that we did here. Yeah, of course, Joe had done all the hard work by writing that lovely little sequence in the first place. So
amazing.
there we are. That's how it all happened. That's how it happened. So I think this. I've got to say, this sheet didn't transfer from home to here, so half of it's right and half of it's from last week's. So I'm trying to glean the right information, but I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go to Joe's interview, and we're just going to click into it. So it's about 11 minutes in. He starts to talk about it. But first off, just as a reminder who Joe is. He is a bit of an Australian rock god. He's been a European rock god as well, but he was born in Australia, so I'm going to call him an Australian rock god. And here is a few things that he's done. I'm going to stick him up on screen now.
You're a fallen angel, gonna throw it all away. You're a fallen angel. You're a fallen angel, gonna throw it all away. You're a fallen angel, all because
Yeah, so as a little introduction to Joe, I tell you what, I'm going to find the interview, but I'm just going to find the spot here. So 2 seconds. I think it's somewhere.
German.
Yeah.
That's something to go for. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and not urge to tune
Yeah,
inside.
it's pretty close to here. I think we'll leave it there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I had a whole load of questions written down here, and I'm not
Okay,
sure if we're
yeah.
getting through any of them or not, but but it probably doesn't matter. I mean, let's talk about the single, because you and James met on an interview, and why? Did you hear that we'd done a new album? Just decide to interview him, or somewhere?
Yeah, I did. I did hear that you had a new album. I think it was just before the album came out. I did hear about it, and I just had start my YouTube channel where I was just sort of interviewing artists from the 70s and 80s and even the 60s, and I thought, I'll contact James. He'll be a good one for my channel. And James said, yeah, we'll have a chat about it. So and since I always was a Korgis fan, because I love that single. I mean, that was the biggest hit you guys had here in Australia.
Sure,
but so we sat down, had a bit of a chat, and I really enjoyed it. And I think James was really impressed that I actually knew the music, because I was explaining to him about the chord progression in Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime. Yeah. And you could see in his eyes, he's going, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about musically. So anyway, then we got to chatting, and I said to him, I've got some demos, and hey, we should do a collaboration. And I mentioned it to you, and next minute, here we are now. We've got this song. So I sent you a demo. I remember you said you really liked what you heard, and you could come up with some lyrics and some other parts. And
I was in Greece at the time.
Yes, that's right. In Greece,
I got that
right,
through.
yeah.
I was in Greece, and I didn't really. I mean, I had my laptop with me, but I didn't have any recording equipment and everything. I didn't have a keyboard or anything, so I actually had to punch all the piano parts in, just so I could get the idea down. Like punching them in as if you were going to punch a drum machine in. And get it to do, and then I'm multi-tracking harmonies with the earphones on into the Mac microphone. I didn't have a proper microphone, but actually, I'll try and find that, because the original demo of it, the chorus sounds suspiciously similar to the way it's turned out now. So yeah, that'd be a good one to play when we do this. When we show this live stream, there maybe I'll find that original demo out.
Because I remember because so the part that's the chorus and the melody was what formed the bass, and then you guys came in and wrote the verses, the lyrics, and there's also a bridge section you put together. I remember you saying to me, James has got this fantastic section with the chordal changes and that sort of stuff. Is absolutely fantastic how it all came together.
Yeah, well, it's just something I often do with James. Is I know if I've done part of the chorus, I could easily go in and do a verse, but it might be a little bit predictable. Whereas when I chuck it to him and I go, James, what should we do here? What's it going to do? And we think so alike that I'll go, shall I play the end of the chorus and then we'll see where it goes? And he go, yeah, that's it, because I kind of figured that's the way he would want to work with it. So we play the chorus, and then he just goes into da 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 da. It's just almost like straight into it. And so there was no, he hardly ever has, he mainly has nonsense lyrics when he does that, but he always sings lyrics. They just don't make any sense, but he'll always sing lyrics to it. And then I think we both worked on that kind of middle eight section together. We just kind of talked about it, and I was going, I just think it should have these kind of Beach Boys chords with the altered bass notes on them. I think we worked on the tune together, we worked on the chords together. But I got to be honest, probably didn't take more than about 40 minutes to take it from having a chorus only to having a verse and a middle eight. Okay. And I think I would have gone back then and worked on some more lyrics for it. And again, you sent some lyrics across, and I took a couple of lines and went, oh, that's really good. I like that Nowhere Man Without a Home. And, some of those things that got in there.
That's good. Well, that's good. That's fast. Well, I mean, a lot of that original demo I sent you, I mean, that whole idea came to me pretty quickly, because what I normally do, Al, is I'll pick up my guitar and I'll just noodle around, and I'll come up with chordal ideas and melodies and quickly put them on my phone. Yeah. And then I'll go back to them and just record demos. A lot of my musical stuff happens pretty quickly, but lyrically, I mean, that's where the challenge is. I mean, that's where it can take a long time. I think the only time I've ever written a song that was in 15 minutes, lyrics and music, was Fallen Angel. That's just one of those moments where it just came to me. But
sometimes it does, doesn't it? Sometimes it just falls into place.
absolutely. But most of the others have taken me like months to sort of put together.
Well, I just got quicker at, I got quicker and quicker at lyrics, and I don't know why it is, or that was just a period of my life or not. Maybe it was because the Cartoon World album, it fell to me to finish off everything. I just finished off all lyrics. So different lyrics are coming in from people, and I just kind of go that, and I go, there's another one done. Now I've got to do this one. And it was a bit the same with this particular song. I probably finished the lyrics in an evening, I think. From the bits that we had together, I think I probably just did it in an evening. It's something like that. I haven't always been like that. Sometimes I have agonized over lyrics for months and months, but I haven't done that in the last year and a half, not since COVID. So, maybe there's just something in that's freed my brain a little bit to kind of make it work that way.
Yeah.
What funny story, Joe. Do you know Village Ghetto Land by Stevie Wonder? Well, he didn't write the lyrics. It was on Songs in the Key of Life, and it went, Village Ghetto Land. Well, he didn't write the lyrics for that. He gave it to another guy. And this was like, this guy said, hey, it was my big break. Stevie Wonder had said, I'm going to record this song and I want you to write lyrics for it. And he said, I spent about 2.5 months, 3 months doing it. And I sent him through to him. And I never heard anything. Like 6 months, I still hadn't heard anything. I thought, maybe you just didn't like him and they're not going to use him. And then out of the blue, I get a call. And it's, hey, it's Stevie here. We're in the studio. We're cutting your tune now. Trouble is, it's got 3 verses. We need another verse. Send it through to me this afternoon. Phone goes down. You go, what? I just spent 2 months doing all this. Can you imagine that?
Oh, no. Man, the pressure on you.
The pressure. But he came up with this 3rd verse, and the opening title of it was, the opening line was People Eating Dog Food Now. And everyone takes that line and goes, wow, that's such a strong line. And he came up with it under pressure, 6 months down the line.
That's wow. Yeah, that is what you can do under pressure is amazing what you can come up with.
Yeah, I guess when you need to, it can work 2 ways, can't it? It can either stifle you where you go, I can't take it I can't think of any ideas, or...
And I think we're going to cut that there because I think we kind of talked about the kind of process of it there. Although there was more of a process because we then were doing the video and we're figuring out, we're going to have the Korgis above the clouds, we're going to have Joe below the clouds, and trying to get everyone's footage because we recorded every part of it. You'll see the video later. We recorded every part of it separately. Every part to green screen, so all the dance moves, that we are doing were all done separately with me trying to remember what I'd got James to do in the first place. So that was quite funny. So yeah, good stuff. We'll come back to Always a Sunny Day a bit later on. We play the video for that as we play out here. But I think as we've got Elaine here, I think we should talk a little bit about your album, of which is this your album here?
This happens to be my album here. I wondered why it was there. Yes, this is the one.
Yeah. So there we are.
Thoroughly enjoyable.
That's the album, which obviously we used for the backdrop for the quiz question. So yeah, that's it. So what is it? It's the songs of. It's called Love Is the Answer. Is that right? Love is still the answer
because I thought it was very appropriate for these times.
Yeah.
The lyrics to that song are very appropriate for now, as they were when they were written. It just goes on, doesn't it? It just goes on. Love is still the answer because
it's a great idea though, isn't it? Because that particular song, was it written for Dionne Warwick?
I'm not sure about that. I think it was.
I think it might have been written for Dionne Warwick, but it was written way late. It was written in like 98 or 2000 or something like that.
Heard it. They haven't heard of it.
And it's one of his great songs. But it's talking about all the songs that he'd written in the 60s and the 70s, of talking about how hopeful they were, that everyone they'd had flower power and peace and all of that sort of stuff. And he's talking about how far backwards everything has slipped and that he's not so sure. But the only thing he's sure about is that love is still the answer. And so that actually resonates with the whole cartoon world thing and what we were doing with the Korgis. With really what Lennon was doing, with Imagine and all of those sort of songs. that came after the 60s, where people are reflecting back and going, I'm not so sure we're going in the right direction here.
Makes you think, doesn't it? Are we getting anywhere at all?
Well, thank God we've got the political thing sorted out
Oh,
now.
thank goodness.
We're all going to be saved.
It'll
We're
be
going to
all
be able
right
to
now.
pay our heating bills in the winter. Good old Liz is going to sort it all out. We'll see. Okay.
I won't hold my breath.
Jury is still out. Anyway, one of the songs was Alfie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic response.
Now, I always thought with this song, I thought when they were given the brief to write it, I reckon they sat down and looked at the film and went, what's that all about then? And then they went, well, should we just write that in a song? What's it all about, Alfie? What is that bloody film all about? He just goes around London with a whole load of different women leaving him and all this sort of stuff. You know, where's the message in it? I'm really sure if you listen to the lyrics, it's quite like,
Quite different.
you know, they're questioning the moral values of the whole film, which is fair enough, really, isn't it? Anyway, the song, the original song, or the first version of it was Scylla, wasn't it? First version of it. And there's a brilliant clip on YouTube of Scylla doing it with Burt Bacharach conducting.
Yeah.
And
Wonderful.
boy, is he conducting his whole...
Yes, he's very
It's very flamboyant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, very flamboyant. Anyway, we figured it might be fun to see if we could put Elaine into those sessions. You know, if we could get her in there, and instead of Scylla being in the booth, there'd be Elaine in the booth.
During lockdown.
Yeah, during lockdown we did that. And Carrie, my long-suffering missus, did this video. And so I think it took a little while, didn't it? Took a while just getting it to be believable that you were actually in that scene. But I think it looks really great. And also, Spot the Celeb. You'll see George Martin in the control room as he was one of the engineers there. It's him and the other guy who's sitting there smoking a cigarette in the control room, which is what you could do in those days.
Who is this? What is that?
Who's this? I'm sure Scylla's changed.
She's
She's changed. Anyway,
It's very
we
clever.
are going
Well done,
to
Kerry.
stick this video up here and see what you think.
What's it all about, Alfie? Is it just for the moment we live? What's it all about when you sort it out, Alfie? Are we meant to take more than we give, or are we meant to be kind? And if only fools are kind, Alfie, then I guess it is wise to be cruel. And if life belongs only to the strong, Alfie, what will you lend on an old golden rule? As sure as I believe there's a heaven above, exist Let your heart lead the way, and you'll find love any day, Alfie.
Yeah, Alfie.
That was
so
easy.
yeah, that was.
That was easy.
That was easy.
That was easy. It only took about 36 hours to record that song.
Good job.
It was quite interesting though, because you would think, how did you get a whole orchestra in the room to do it? Of course, we would have loved to.
Don't tell them the secrets.
Our bank balances would have been way, way, way empty, and we would have gone back to beg the bank manager for more overdrafts and just offer him to do his dishes, stuff like that. So the way it was done is you all know Paul, of course, who is Paul is Elaine's not your better half, you see. Long-suffering husband, we've all got long-suffering partners.
Right.
So Paul was on kit for that. No, you can't hear very much drums, but he's there, he's tapping cymbals and going whoosh and all that sort of stuff. And Nigel Hart was on keyboards. Nigel, who you will see if anyone's coming to the orchestral gig, Nigel's back on keyboards for that one. He's been off for a little bit because he's got some illness in the family, but we hope that he would be back kind of full time soon. But anyway, he's on the orchestra gig. So we did that as basically a four-piece with Elaine singing, with me playing bass, with Paul on drums, and with Nigel on keyboards on the piano upstairs here. At some point, do you know what? At some point we should show them the upstairs, shouldn't we? Because everyone just thinks we're in a little control room. But we've got a whole upstairs with a baby grand piano up there. In fact, I did think about that we're doing a rehearsal when we get back on one of the live stream days, and I thought I might just set the camera up on the rehearsal upstairs. If I can get the sound to be kind of decent enough, we might set it up and just see if we can just let you in on a little rehearsal, or on some of it anyway.
In the green room.
In the green room, yeah. Because it is green.
In the green room in more than one way.
Because we use it for green screen. We sit people against it and we make the backgrounds disappear. Anyway, so we did that as basically a four-piece with Elaine singing and with the three of us playing. And then one by one dubbed the instruments in. Now it must be said, the arrangement was completely done before we ever played those parts. So by the magic of technology, I could take all the stuff that I'd written digitally on score and I could transfer that into a MIDI file, which basically it just slavishly plays these notes on, off. But if you put those changes of tempo and everything in it, it starts to sound a little bit more human. And so we actually put all of that onto our main program and then just muted the things that we were playing. And we did that bit by bit. So if Kerry Reese came in and played clarinets or something on it, which he did on this, we just mute the fake clarinets then, and he would be adding to it. The real strings, we just got rid of the fake strings and put the real ones on top of it. So gradually we built up this orchestral thing. However, we kind of had a mock-up of the whole thing before we struck a blow, really, didn't we? So, and that really helps. That really helps. And it feels like it was kind of done all in one go, really, doesn't it? It feels like you were stood in front of that orchestra actually doing it.
And a great experience.
With Burt Bacharach conducting.
Wow. His loss.
His loss, yeah. You have to do with me.
I bet if he knew, he would have loved to have been here. Or with me in my
He would have.
room that we painted in our little bungalow.
Because
we might as well
you've
tell
got a
you.
green screen room as well.
Yes. What once was a bedroom.
And it's the same coloured green as I got.
You said, what colour did you use, Al? What was it?
Was it tropical jungle or
I
something?
think it was.
Yeah.
So out
jungle green.
drummer extraordinaire Paul went to Wilco, or was it Wilco?
Wilco
The other DIY stores are available. We went out and bought that and painted the one wall.
The range.
It's a beautiful colour.
We got it in the range.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a nice colour.
And it
It's a
worked
bit
really
glaring on the eye when you've got a whole room full of it, but
Oh, it's
quite
lovely
nice.
on our one wall, I must say. We've kept it.
yeah.
And
I wanted to do
the
the wall.
parrots have moved in.
I wanted to do the wall of our upstairs bedroom
It's
because
lovely.
I use it as an office a lot of the time. But I thought,
Yeah.
oh, that'd be great. I've got a green screen straight behind me.
Yeah.
But Lorna, whose room it was, but she doesn't live with us anymore. But she comes back and stays there. She went, no. She said, I know I'm only back 5 days a year or something like that, but I have to stay in that room, and I don't want a green bedroom.
Oh, it's a lovely colour. Very
I like
restful.
I think it's
Green is
restful.
lovely to live with.
Yeah, Lorna, if you're watching this, green is good.
Green is really good.
Green is good. I think we should reiterate the quiz question. So I'm going to stick it up on the screen again. And here we are. Burt Bacharach has a lot of... I'll tell you what, you can do it.
And love is not the answer.
Love is not, love is not the answer. You
Burt Bacharach has a lot of co-writers. What is, in our opinion, the most unusual one that's featured on Elaine Moi album?
So yeah, he's got a lot of co-writers. What is the most unusual one? So it's the unusual co-writer that we're looking
Yeah.
for, not the unusual
yes.
song, the
Yes.
co-writer. So there we are. We will come back a little bit later and announce if anyone's won that or not. We're not giving anything away. Not giving nothing
No.
away at the moment. So there we are. I think we are into. I think we're into a little bit of news. Yes, I think we are because my crib sheet is virtually
Should have a
useless.
fanfare now. Da, 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 da.
People just want everything, don't they?
Of course.
Never happy. Never happy. Okay, so news. The big news is that we received a copy of the Stackridge book, and I know a lot of you are Stackridge fans out there. Anyone that is a Stackridge fan, go and buy this book because it covers every track. And when I looked at the stuff from Cartoon World, and I thought, oh, he's obviously just a fan, so he's writing nice about everything. He's just saying everything's really, it's all really good. Every track's great. But it isn't. He is actually, there's some things he doesn't really like very much at all. Some things he thinks are a bit ordinary, etc. So
Speaks his mind.
but it's a great book, and it's a big, thick book. It's really thick. And I did an unpacking video, unpack the book video.
Oh, right.
I did. So I'm gonna find that. Where am I? The main interview. It says Stackridge. Here we go.
Fanfare
Stackridge.
again.
Every song. Here we go. So this is me unpacking it. Well, this is quite an exciting day for us because I have just received a copy of Stackridge, Every Album, Every Song. And that's not just exciting because there's some great stuff in the Stackridge material, but also they cover all of the Korgis material. And so I was particularly intrigued to see what they would have to say about Cartoon World, which of course was our most recent creation and the reason we started these live streams. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read you a few excerpts. We're just going to maybe pick 2 or 3 songs and see what they said. There seems to be a lot of on-the-money information here. They know facts that I wasn't sure they would know, but they certainly do. So I'm going to read you some stuff now. Hope this is fun. Yeah, so there we are. We're going to go Bring About the Spirit of Love. That seems like a good one to start with, doesn't it? One of the joys of this album is the way the tracks link into each other, utilizing a similar method to that on the excellent 2005 Stackridge compilation, Sex and Flags. This gives Cartoon World a beautiful flow, and this song is one of the album's signal tracks, dealing as it does with the central theme of the entire work, as the Korgis resurrect the universal love motif, so redolent of the entire work, or so redolent of much of the Beatles' work. Yeah, that's true. The inspiration for this theme was driven by the countless examples of selfless expression and community spirit that proved to be one of the most heartwarming byproducts of the 2020 pandemic lockdown. The album is in effect holding a mirror up to the struggles of the new decade, and the songs herein are very much linked to the events we all lived through in this period. Well, that's also all true. What of the music, you may ask? Well, if you like pure pop in the classic style, you'll find it here in spades. And this album really appeals to the eternal pop fan in me. This song reminds me on a mid-tempo shuffle before James Warren enters the fray with the line, "We're going to start a revolution," as the music recalls the feel of 90s Britpop, displaying a huge degree of pop thrill as the verses run into the anthem-like chorus that, not for the last time in this album, recalls the work of 70s pop innovators 10cc. Positive vibes abound, and the glorious sound is highly addictive as we get the first of many Al Steele guitar cameos over the chorus chords. As on the rest of the album, guitar solos are kept brief and to the point, as are other instrumental breaks. The coda sees Warren getting out his megaphone for a positive rallying speech on the troops of love, and the whole cahoodle ends with what sounds like someone turning off the power to the recording console as everything grinds to a halt. Well, actually, we did use a turntable plug-in on it. That worked quite well, really. But that's quite interesting. Al's cameo guitar thing, of course, it was meant to be what would George Harrison play on this. So that was just quite an interesting little discussion on it. He was kind of really pretty much on the money with all of that. I was just going to go for another couple of, I think we're just going to go for Magic Money Tree, which is, of course, where the album started, and maybe Cartoon World. And then we're just going to implore you to go and buy the book because it's really good. It's really good. There's so much great stuff in it. So here we go. Magic Money Tree. One of a pair of tracks in the album that include the band Exhibit 1, and Chris Hopkins of that outfit is featured on a co-write with Al Steele and James Warren. The title was inspired by a Theresa May quote a few years back about having no magic money tree. It's a real funky affair with the choppy rhythm guitar, bass and drums kicking up an impressive groove on the verses. This slides into a streamlined chorus that you definitely won't get out of your head once you've heard it, where the bass marches effortlessly up and down the scale and the vocals soar in a watertight band performance. The harmonies are on the middle section, a dead ringer for the style of Australian band Crowded House. Ooh, interesting that. And sound fabulous. The lyrics scan brilliantly and range a vision of modern society that's in danger of completely losing its moral compass, with images of the chasm separating the rich from the poor and the lack of compassion displayed by society that constantly elevates money above people. Well, that's true, isn't it? That is true. I've just seen Space here, and as that's one of my favourite kind of songs of the album, I'm interested what it has to say. So, a point of stillness in the middle of the album. Space finds us floating weightlessly, looking down on the myriad creatures scrambling to and fro across the surface of this planet, including the human race. While this small world circles its fairly ordinary yellow dwarf star, itself in a huge galaxy is one of a billion other galaxies in its ever-expanding universe. It is a song invoking a cosmic perspective on the crazy goings-on Earth below, with James Warren's disembodied vocals floating in the ambient ether, with only the occasional Pepperland-style cello interjection playing wobbling two-notes phrase, "We are at peace." The second verse brings an intermittent piano as Warren sings, "I feel like I've never been so high," and we go into the floating chorus, preceding a middle section of synthesizer and drums playing some triple-time riffs. To close the track, last chorus enters this time with a backbeat before it finally falls back into the disembodied vocal, followed by a lonely Morse code signal recalling those purple spaceships first encountered half a century earlier. And it was funny that, because that Morse code was a real afterthought. It was something James put on when he was mastering it. And glad that he did, because it just kind of gives you something to go. And I think we're just going to finish off with Cartoon World, the title track. Sure, yeah, Cartoon World, the title track. So this was written, of course, by all three of us, by James, John, and myself. And what he says about this, and Alan Draper is kind of just really has obviously researched this stuff very well. I say Cartoon World. The title track, with the correct spelling of cartoon this time, is a sublime creation. With a gentle rhythm, it starts in an understated style with acoustic guitar and vibes until a lead guitar appears, playing a prelude of the chorus melody and strongly bringing back the sonic feel of the '64 Beatles album Beatles for Sale.
The collaborative writing really comes to the fore, with John Baker being the principal architect of the verses, Al Steele coming up with the sing-along but moving choruses, and James Warren contributing a perfect middle eight that takes a song to another level. The verses have an almost confidential, conversational feel and really nail the feeling that many of us experienced in these troubled times, that society has virtually become akin to living in an exaggerated cartoon with its sound bites and pick and mix cultural landscape, where the odd certainties appear and no longer appear as everything is constantly channeled toward the lowest common denominator. Unfortunately, although there's not too much to shout about, as the lyric says, there's no one to say cut. The chorus aims for its target audience with deadly accuracy and is liable to hit those in their second half century firmly below the ribs with a final chorus couplet. Maybe it's just me, I liked it how it used to be in the 70s. It's brought a tear to my eye anyway. Oh, there we are. After two verses and choruses, Warren's middle eight lines hits it on the button with the line, "To the money god, we are cartoon slaves," as the music elevates to another plateau with the allegory of the human race trapped in a self-made, rapidly deteriorating cartoon world where the story won't allow us to go back. Poignant and moving, Cartoon World is the first of a pair of world-beating songs that closes Fine album. The last one, of course, being The Best Thing You Can Do Is Love Someone. He liked that as well. There we are. So listen, this book, grab it. It's definitely worth a look for every Stackridge fan, every Korgis fan, or anyone who likes any of the people in it. It covers all of Andy Davis' solo work as well. A really great book and really thoroughly researched and very, very well written. So there we are. Thank you, Alan Draper. A really marvelous job. There we are. That's my assessment.
There we are. Yeah, I forgot I ended that quite so quickly.
Well, Alan Draper really knows what he's talking about.
He does know what he's talking about, doesn't he? Yeah.
And I must say, I will never forget the first time I heard Space. And yes, I cried.
I remember playing you lots of them in their early stage. Cartoon World, you cried as well.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
But when I heard Space for the first time, I was in the car, traveling, obviously driving on my own, and I had it quite high, quite loud, and yes, tears to my eyes. I had to be careful with my driving. But what a fantastic song. I absolutely love it. It's atmospherical. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's, I can't describe. I will never forget how I felt the first time I heard it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was. I mean, even just the original piece that James wrote when I first heard it, I thought, oh, that's really, really, really spooky, almost. Spooky song.
Yeah.
So yeah, we wanted to keep that. I just heard, rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, dear.
Blimey.
Oh, dear.
Okay, well, sorry to see you go, Liz. But she's had a pretty good innings, though, hasn't she? Isn't that amazing that we just seen the footage of her 2 days ago, swearing in the Prime Minister?
Yeah. 2 days ago, was it? Was it
2 days
yesterday?
ago?
Yesterday.
No, it wasn't yesterday. It was Monday that Liz arrived, wasn't it? Or did they vote on Monday? They voted on Monday. I think did Boris move out and Liz moved in on Tuesday.
Oh, yesterday. Yes, that's right. Day before.
Wednesday she got sworn.
Yeah.
So that was yesterday.
She had an awful, looked like
She
she had a
did,
bruise on
yeah.
her hand. Oh.
She did. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
dear,
that's a
dear.
shame.
Okay.
That's a shame.
One Liz in.
Yeah, one Liz in,
One gone.
one Liz out, one Charles in. So there's a lot of people going. That's my kids going. Oh, I hope Charles doesn't get in. I hope he gives it to one of the kids. And they're going, no, he's next in line. He is going to, isn't he? I think he'll be all right. I think Charles will be all right, even though he's all right. He's messed up a few things in his life.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? Yeah.
There we are.
But yeah, I think he's an all-round good guy. He's done a lot of good things. But then I might be in the minority. I know if Stuart Taylor was here, he would just say execute them all.
Would he?
Yeah. You see his poking
Okay.
fun at the Royals video that he did for Cartoon World. For Cartoon World, he did a cartoon of the Royals and ended up in the tower.
Okay.
He did. Okay, so I think.
Anybody got the right answer?
Well, we'll do that in a second. That's the last thing. That's pretty much the last thing we're going to do. But any other news? The obvious news is if you haven't bought a ticket for the Korgis with Orchestra, buy it, because as a lot of the tickets have gone, we've still got some seats in row C, I think, but virtually everything else in that middle block is gone, and
Fancy
a lot
a
of the
good
stuff.
cry?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff
Because
on the
it
sides is
sounds
gone.
so beautiful.
But yeah, that should be good. Elaine
That's
sung with that
amazing.
orchestra, haven't you? The Mike's with a Big Swing
Amazing.
Band.
Yeah.
And at some
Lovely.
point, I think for one of the concerts we might well do a Baccarat concert. We'll
Yeah,
do a
that would
load
be
of the-
nice.
Do a
Yeah.
load of the stuff from your album, because it's a good format for the band.
It
because
is.
you've got 6 horns on yours, and we've got 6 horns on the gigs.
That would be lovely.
So yeah, there we are. But get along to that if you can. October the 23rd, Trowbridge Civic Hall. That will be a gas. And I think we've sold around 100 tickets as it goes, which is
Fantastic.
good. That's good.
Well,
But still more to
everybody's
go. Yeah.
So happy to see live music back, really.
Yeah.
And we're enjoying it, aren't we?
But this is a kind of one-off as well, because we can't
Very
afford to do
special.
this very often. But it's a one-off. I mean, I hope we would do it again at some point. But so this is a special gig, and then the week after, on the 28th, we're in Havant in Southampton, and that is the only gig around that point that is a full proper gig. That's the 2 sets and doing all of the stuff, and a few new songs I think going in there. A couple, most notably, hopefully being "Don't Look Back." Mauro, we maybe are going to finally do "Don't Look Back." I'm going to try and push everyone as hard as we can, and hopefully we'll get some footage of it. So we'll be doing that in the orchestra gig, but we'll be doing the full show at Havant, and then the 3rd in the row, which is November the 5th, I think. It's a Saturday anyway, whatever the Saturday is around there. We're supporting Martin Kemp at a kind of, it's not quite a festival, it's the Cheese and Grain, which is the pub that Paul McCartney played before he did Glastonbury.
Yeah.
But it's a kind of all-day, multiple bands on, and we're on just before Martin Kemp is.
It'll be great fun.
Will be, yeah,
Really
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So that's an hour set, but it's going to be a rip-roaring party, I reckon.
I hope I can be there.
I hope you can be there.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best.
We have a look. So, so what do you think? Are you going to do any gigs? Going to do any gigs? We talked about doing Baccarat gigs. We had a Baccarat gig scheduled with Baccarat and Anil Sedaka.
Yeah. It all went down.
It happened right. I think what was scheduled for April or May or
Yeah,
something
it
like
was
that.
April.
As we locked it all down.
April 18th. But yes, of course, we're going to get that back up and running. And of course, I'm at the moment working on the new songs
Yes.
for a new album with various songwriters, including myself. So exciting times. I'm really enjoying a new experience, really, writing my own songs and working with you on those. It's good fun, really good fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be a good day today doing that.
We've got a
wouldn't
lovely
it? Yeah.
songwriter, Ian Mitchard. He's written some lovely songs. He heard the album, the Baccarat album,
Yeah.
and wrote some songs with me.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, yeah, I'd never written in that style." I mean, he said, "What do you think? Would Elaine sing it?" And I
Yeah.
went, I think she'd be delighted
Well,
to."
delighted I was, and he sent me you sent me a few through, and I heard the first 4 bars. On a few of them, I was absolutely hooked straight away. So I look forward to finishing those and putting those out
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Hopefully before
Excellent.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas. Shh. But lots of good things happening.
Yeah.
Lots of exciting times through everything, through difficulties, challenges. We're shining through.
Shining through.
Keep smiling.
I think my only other bit of news is I just had the footage through from Matsiko in Liberia for This World's for Everyone. So look out for a new video for that very soon.
That's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, and it's like they sound great on it. You already know they sound great on it, but they look great on it as well. They're on the beach and they've got all these yellow costumes on.
Oh, fantastic.
And Hegsy is there at the front egging them on.
Who?
Hegsy, you know.
Of course.
Hegsy, who was my partner in crime, who went to Liberia with, who flew back late Sunday night, worked with me Monday morning, worked with his videographer Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning flew to Turkey, where he's on a family holiday for 4 days. He's back for 3 days, then he flies out to Los Angeles to do production on the films we've been working on. So he's staying in Malibu for about 3 months until Christmas or something like that, and then he's hooking around with Matsiko in America. It's possible. Matsiko are out in America for a year, so it's possible the Korgis may catch up with them at some point, and we may do a couple of concerts together. That would be a lovely plan if we can get it to work. Obviously, we need to put a couple more gigs around it in America if that's going to be the case. So any Americans here who wish to book the Korgis, we are available and very reasonable.
I know somebody in America.
Yeah?
Very important person.
Ah,
Yeah, and you do. You know a few people in America.
we know a few people in America.
California area.
Yeah, we know a few people.
We'll have a
Dotted
word.
around.
We'll have a word. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. Yeah, there we are. Okay, so I think that is the news. Shall we reveal the competition winner? I'm going to put the thing back up on the screen. So we refresh ourselves if I can find my mouse. Oh, here it is. Too many screens around here. That's what it is. So here is a competition question back up on the screen. And it is Burt Bacharach. There's a lot of co-writers. What is, in our opinion, the most unusual one that is featured on Elaine's album? And somebody did get this. And it was Elaine Brokenshaw.
Oh,
And
that's
Elaine
a good name.
Brokenshaw guessed the song first, and then it was pointed out to her that we were after the writer, not the song.
Well done, Elaine.
And this was the geezer on the right-hand side, Elvis Costello. And it's from this album, which wasn't called God Give Me Strength, was it? It was called something else. But God Give Me Strength was the lead track on it, really. They finished the album with it here. And it's an absolutely brilliant track. So Elaine Brokenshaw. Now, I don't know. Elaine, have you got Elaine's album?
I'm not sure. I don't.
I'm not sure if you do. If not, well, this is the prize. Hold it up. Hold up that album. Yeah, this is the prize.
There we are.
This is the prize. The CD isn't it at the moment, so we must remember to put the CD back, or you'll be very disappointed.
Congratulations, you've won an album cover.
But the reason the CD isn't in there is because the CD is in the CD player, and we are going to play our version of God Give Me Strength. With the lovely backdrop of Burt Bacharach and Elvis Costello in the background. So I'll probably have to sort of spin through this a few times because it's going to start to play on track 1, I know that.
Oh.
But I'm ready for it.
It was from a film, wasn't it? It was used on Grace of My Heart.
It was used on that, yes.
And the girl on there sang it very sheepishly.
Sheepishly, yeah.
Sheepishly. So yeah.
Aha, here we go.
That one.
So, yeah, let's see if I
Tougher.
can try and get it.
Fast forward. Oh, what a great introduction. Oh, what a great introduction. What a great introduction.
Heard that.
Oh, those drums.
Oh, so where did it go? Well, what track is it? Elaine, what track is it?
Oh, God, give me strength. Number 7.
There we are!
Hallelujah.
I'm going to put it up on the screen. There we go. I'm going to turn this off.
Congratulations, Elaine. Thank you. Hope you. Nothing, so God, give me strength, 'cause I am weak in His way. And if I'm strong, I might still break, and I don't have anything to share that I won't throw away into the air. That song is sung out. This bell is rung.
He was the light that I'd bless. He took my last chance at happiness. So God give me strength. God give me strength. I can't hold on to him. God, give me strength when the phone doesn't ring and I am lost in imagining everything that kind of love is worth. As I tumble back down to the earth, that song is sung out. This bell is rung out. He was the light that I bless. He took my last chance at happiness. So God give me strength. God give me strength. Grant me his indulgence and decline. I might as well wipe him from my memory. Fracture the spell as he becomes my enemy. Maybe I was washed out like a leopard on his shirt. See, I'm only human. I want him to hurt. I want him, I want him, I want him to Since I lost the power to pretend that there could ever be a happy ending, that song is sung out. This bell is rung out. He was the light that I'd bless. She took my last chance at happiness. So God give me strength. God give me strength.
Yeah, there we are. That was God give me strength. Oops, hang on, sorry, it's off again.
Love is the answer.
It's off again. It's off again. Well, that gives us an opportunity to put that disc back in there. Oh, look at this as well.
You haven't got fingerprints on there.
No,
have you?
I haven't. Look at
That
how
costs extra.
carefully I'm handling that.
There we are.
That is a vinyl type of CD,
Yeah.
which I quite like that.
Remember the old Polydor records?
Yeah, I do. I was wondering whether to actually do that with our version of Cool Hits, as to put a vinyl on it.
I think that'd be a nice
That'd be a
idea.
nice idea. There we
I
go.
had Polydor, I had Black Beauty
Right.
theme tune on the Polydor record. Why do you know know, these things stay with you.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway,
So yeah, that was our version of God Give Me Strength, and that was built up in exactly the same way. We did it as the four of us, with Paul, Nigel, and myself on bass on that, and then we dubbed everything else on. So dubbed the whole orchestra on that afterwards, and it was one take on the vocal, wasn't it?
Didn't we do well?
Didn't we do well? Yeah. And this was the one where I said, I'm going to put a guitar solo on that. You went, oh, it's you. It's all about you. It's you, isn't it? You know. But I had something in my head for it, and I thought, no, that's got to be a guitar solo.
I think it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I think it worked all right, didn't it?
In fact, I think it's
I
very nice.
practiced a bit. I got better.
And it's also, I think, for a singer, maybe for anybody who's making speeches or doing a presentation, or even when we used to leave answer phone messages, people would say, oh, I don't like the sound of my own voice and all that sort of thing. But I think that we're both pretty proud of that album, aren't we?
Yeah.
You know, it's made us, this lockdown, everything we went through, it's made us appreciate what we do.
It was done at the
more.
same time as Cartoon World, really, wasn't it? We were working on
Just,
both concurrently, I think.
I think so, yeah, maybe just a touch. Yeah.
It's just my little side project, just a full orchestra album of Bacharach stuff on the side of doing the Cartoon World stuff.
Yeah. Well, I have to keep you busy.
Well, yeah, I know. And it does. So anyone that likes the sound of that album, it is all brilliant, I've got to say. It all sounds really good. It sounds really warm and lovely. And all the songs are great, because Bacharach, you don't get much finer as a songwriter than him, classic songwriter.
Yeah, beautiful.
So yeah, if you fancy it, it's available on the Korgis.com, which will actually direct you to your site.
Okay.
It's just a redirect there, so you can find it on there.
Lovely.
So go pick it up. It's definitely well worth it. I think Ingo's got it. He likes it.
Ingo, yes, he's got it. And let me know what you think as well if you do listen to it. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts and your favourite, really, because that will come into play then when we do a live, when we do the shows. I'm aiming to do a Burt Bacharach tour, really.
Yeah.
I'll ask him along, you never know.
Yeah, he might want to come out and do it.
I would love to meet him. I'm always born too late. Me. I wanted to meet Natalie Kool.
Right.
I would have loved to have gone along and seen her concert.
Yeah.
People I know have seen her live, and I missed out.
Yeah.
And I would love to meet Burt Bacharach. So if you know anybody who just, can call him up and say,
hey, Burt.
come along, hey, Burt. Yeah. But in the meantime, we enjoyed the music, of course. Lovely.
Yeah, we do.
And we've got a few more to record.
Yeah, always. Yeah, she's always.
It's ongoing.
More.
It's ongoing. It's ongoing. About sort of 10 more, maybe.
Yeah, it'll keep me busy.
Well, it doesn't do to be idle.
No, I know.
When you go on holiday soon, make sure there's a piano in the.
I think I'm going on holiday at the end of next week, and actually, I think I have to be writing all the orchestral music. I've done some. I did 2 tracks just to see how.
You don't know the meaning of the word holiday.
Holiday. Well, everyone else sleeps, and I'm never tired, so I just carry on and do stuff. So yeah, I did 2 songs. I did Bring Back the Spirit of Love and If I Had You. I think I did the orchestral arrangement, both of those, and it was quite quick. I was surprised at how quick it was. So that's good. That's good.
Stupendous.
So it's not so scary as I thought it might be. Because obviously we're doing a full hour set or something like that, and I think the only thing we have written for full orchestra is the Cartoon World Overture. Everything else has some. It has some strings written or some odd instruments.
And James' voice, it sounds so wonderful. Just like it suits the orchestra as well. He suits anything like that. It all blends in beautifully.
Yeah. I think he's just got a good voice, hasn't he?
He's got a fantastic voice. He's a special guy.
Special! In all senses of the word.
Special needs.
Okay, so
I think James.
I think we are gonna wander off into the sunset, and we are gonna leave you with the video for Always a Sunny Day. And if you haven't seen this, this is one of my favourite videos. It took ages and ages and ages to do it, because we had this idea of some of us above the clouds and some of us below the clouds. and that is the wrong shape for a video, you know, because a video's that shape,
Yeah.
and this is that shape. So I think I hit upon the idea of doing the verses in widescreen, so you'd have black and white above them, and then it would all go full screen, and all of a sudden you would have the two. But it was a bit of a work of art trying to get it to
And
work.
don't go far away from your phone, because you know they'll be on the phone. You know, Strictly Come Dancing. They'll be on, or maybe Dancing on Ice.
Ah, yeah, when they see our
I can
dance
see
moves.
yes.
When they see our dance
I can
moves.
see the Korgis on
Ah,
ice.
yeah, yeah.
You never know.
They are. So not only buy Elaine's album, buy Cartoon World, pre-order Cool Hits collaboration soon. I think October the 3rd or something like that, we're going to put it on pre-release. Probably to coincide with, there is going to be, the lead single from it is going to be Lines, of which I've just been designing a little cover for Lines, yeah. But that is going to go up, so that'll be available everywhere. Lines, you can either download it or you can listen to it on Spotify or whatever you choose, just to give you a taster of what the album will be like. So yeah, buy that,
Enjoy.
buy this, and
Enjoy and tell your friends.
and if you need dance lessons, you can buy them from us as well. And on that note, we will say goodbye from her. You're supposed to say it's goodbye from him.
Goodbye from him.
Okay, there we go. And here is
You guys both
Always
were
a sunny
just like
day.
brothers in that old photograph. I became a persistent scholar, and you took up fighting the flag. From anti-establishment ethos to a nowhere man without a home, while I flew up to heaven and made my living as the emperor of Rome. And it's always a sunny day when you're living life above the clouds.
How come it's raining on me?
Choose how to spend your day. Turn a smile
When there's nowhere to
see just
sleep
what you
and
can
there's
do.
nothing to lose.
Always a sunny day when you're living high above the clouds.
It won't stop raining on
Take that
me.
rain and turn it into a
Nowhere to go, nothing to show, no colors to build a rainbow. Along the way, our window shadows, the streets are restless tonight.